Hello guys, Layde Dei here. Today is Thursday, November 14th, and I decided to record. And before I begin, I want to give a little disclaimer. Anything I say, it's not a reflection on anybody else. I'm just sharing my story and my why on reflections about other people being your mirror, and also my why on why we should let go of belief systems that no longer serve us. Now, the first thing on the reflections, I'm going to be transparent on this and share some things with you. Now, when my little grandson, William, was about 2, whenever I would see him, he would have his arms open wide, and then he would say, "Hi, darling. Hi, darling." Because that's what I was saying to him. I did not realize I said that. Now, he said what he saw, what he heard me say to him. So he was being my mirror. Another story is when my youngest, when she was about 3, we were in the store. That was back in the day when you got movies. And it was a lady in the store, and she had, kids with her, and she was cussing her kids out and stuff. And my daughter was saying yes and please and thank you. And she said, "Your little girl is so sweet." She said, "How did you get her to be like that?" I said, "I talked to her the way I want her to talk to me." You see, I'm her main influence. So with my youngest, I realized you can create little people. So if you teach them how to be polite and nice, that's how they're going to be. That's the way that they're going to respond to the world. Your kids, especially if you have little ones, they are you. So if you want to actually know how you are, look at your little people. The way that they behave, because they mimic you. Little people like to do exactly what they see their parents do, or anybody around them. So if you cross your legs, a little person comes sitting next to you, they'll cross their legs as well. So that's how you can find out how you are. And your friends. If you notice, your friends are just like you as well. You pick up the phrases that they say. Sometimes when you guys are talking, you may respond exactly the same way. So you're going to be like the people that you're around. Now, I'm going to tell you another story. Now, as you guys know, I was married to my high school sweetheart. I was with him from 14 to 38. And when we divorced, I knew I was going to be divorced a long time because I didn't want to bring anybody around my daughters. See, my oldest one was out of the house, but I had a 16-year-old and a 6-year-old. And I didn't want any horror stories. And I was glad that I did it. Because when my youngest was like 13, I met this guy who had a daughter that was a year older than mine. She was 14. And his ex-wife, boyfriend, raped his daughter. It was so bad that she didn't talk for 2 weeks. She was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And she can no longer have kids. Now, when I heard that, I was glad that I made the decision that I made. Again, this is not a reflection on anybody else. That was my personal choice. So, even though I knew I didn't want to be in a relationship with anybody seriously, I did want something more than just superficial. So I would date. I didn't bring anybody around my kids. But I was kind of thinking, you know what, let me kind of see what is going on. So I made a list of the last 3 guys I had dated. For me, it's like, okay, I'm the common denominator, so it must be something that I'm doing. So when I made this list, the first thing was they were selfish. The second thing was they were workaholics. The third thing was They wanted to have their way all the time. And when I was reading this list, I said, hey, that's me. And I realized I was getting who I was, not what I wanted. I also realized if I wanted something different, I was going to have to be something different. So that took me on my path of self-discovery to find out, what was really going on. So that led me to Nikola Tesla. Now, he is the Serbian that's from Croatia. That is an engineer. They were making a movie about him. He's the guy that, he was back in the 1890s, in the early 1900s. He wanted to partner with Thomas Edison. And he actually had visions and stuff. And he talked about, talking over the airwaves, which is our cell phone that we're doing today. Well, anyway, in his book that I was reading, he talked about vibrations. Now, he made me really understand it and appreciate it. He talked about, how you hit something, when I visualize, like in the music, you have that little thing that you can hit. But he explained it. He explained it like an echo. He said when you send out an echo, he used the term ESP. It is exactly the same in principle. So when you send out an echo, it goes out. It's going to bounce off of something, then it's going to come back exactly the same that you sent out, which means you reap what you sow. So whatever energy you put out, that's the energy you're going to get back. So when I read that, I was like, man, that was deep, because I saw it myself. Because we don't get what we want. We get who we are. We're going to get exactly the same in principle. That's why in my previous video, I said, you can pretend to be a certain kind of way because you want to get something out of somebody. But that person that you're doing that to, they doing the same thing to you. Because you're getting exactly the same in principle. The other thing I wanted to talk about was letting go of belief systems that no longer serve us. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this, I wanted to share with you how, really, the reason why we believe certain things is not necessarily because it's true. It is because we believe in the person that provided us with the information. An example would be, say, the people that buy Michael Jordan tennis shoes. You're not buying the tennis shoes because you believe in Nike and that they're a good tennis shoe. You buy the tennis shoe because you believe in Michael Jordan. Another example would be a restaurant. If your friend recommended you go to this restaurant, you're not going because the food is actually good. You don't know that yet. You're going because somebody that you believe in and trust in recommended it to you. So we can believe things that are actually not true. It could be, I'll give you another example. I wasn't going to use this one. But say you think that your person is cheating on you. They may not be cheating on you. But it's true because you believe it. And because you keep believing it, they end up doing it and you make it true. But the example I was going to use is when I was coming up, I always kind of thought I was an ugly duckling in the family. They used to say my hair was so coarse that they had to straighten it when I was 6 months old. Now, it made me self-conscious about my hair, and I always kept my hair short. I was straightening my hair when I was like a little girl, and in the 6th grade, I used to relax my hair on my own, which is crazy what your parents used to let you do. Anyway, but I always kept my hair short. Now, a couple of years ago, I decided to go blonde. I had always told my daughters, if I ever decide to go blonde, y'all know I'm going through something. So they were just like, Mama, you going through something? Anyway, I had a blonde mohawk, and I will put a photo of that. And my daughter told me, she said, if you go blonde, Mama, you can't relax your hair. And I was just like, okay. So I wore it blonde. I had that blonde mohawk. for a while, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let it grow out. So at the beginning of the year, it started like it wasn't blonde anymore, and then the color was coming out. Anyway, I let it grow out. And when I let my hair grow out, I realized my hair isn't actually coarse. So I am 55 years old, and I just found out something that I have been believing all these years was not actually true. So we can believe something, not necessarily because it's true. We believe it because of the source. We respect the source that gave it to us. So some things can happen too, like say in your family. It's actually like the story. We are doing things because we saw things, and it's not necessarily true. You may have saw your family handle a crisis a certain kind of way, and you're doing it the way that they do it, but you don't know why they handled it that way. You know, that goes back to the story of the woman that had she was cutting off a third of her meat because she saw her mom do it, not knowing why she was doing it, and mom doing it because grandmama did it. And then grandmama come in and say, I don't know why y'all doing it, but my pan was too small. So we can actually see people handling stress or something, and we doing what they did. They may be in a state of depression, and you are not, but you see it. That's what you saw. So you thought that was the way you had to do it. Or you may be a person that's maybe gentle in spirit, and you saw your uncle or your dad cuss your mom out, and you think that's the way you have to talk to women. That's not what you have to do. You need to be your own individual self. There are people out there that say that they're individuals, they're strong, they're, they have their own identity, and then to turn around and say, well, this is the way my family did it. I thought you was an individual. So you need to find your own way and find out what works for you. Because the thing that I realized being married and being around other married couples, you looking at other people and you thinking it's a certain kind of way, you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. The thing that I would tell young people, make your relationship yours. There are women out there who decide, I tell you, girl, don't you do that for your man. Don't you cook for him. Don't you do all of that. And then she may not be happy in her thing. Because I've seen couples, they holding hands in church and they, all lovey-dovey. And then, because you they friend, you see them behind closed doors and they cussing each other out. It's all a show. So if you happy and you and your person decide y'all want to do certain things, if you want to open her car door, don't worry about what your friends say, because you're going to go home with a happy person. Some people may envy what you have because they don't have that. So don't base your relationship off of other people. You have to make it yours. Again, let go of belief system that you think may still be good when they may not. This is something I'm adding. I wasn't initially going to do this. In the Bible, I used to wonder why the prophets never got to stay in one place. One of the prophets was Elijah. And, it was an Elijah and there was an Elisha. Now, God may have him go somewhere, and then the ravens would come and feed him, and he drank the water out the brook. But then after a while, the brook would dry up. Then he would have to go somewhere else. And then somebody, one of them went to the woman where he asked her to make him some bread. And when she made him some bread and gave him something to eat, her oil didn't run out. She went out and put the pans in, and she didn't run out of oil until she ran out of pans. And I used to wonder, why you can't just stay there? Well, it was revealed to me because we become complacent. We're supposed to always be growing. Remember, healthy things grow and growing things change. So if things stay the same way, we would never grow. We'll just get settled in and be like, this is good enough. This is all I'm going to do. He don't want you to be like that. He loves you too much to leave you in the same state that you were. So he may put people in your life. He'll make it uncomfortable for you. And to push you out of something. He wants you to do better. He wants you to grow. So instead of us resenting someone that comes in and challenge us, we should appreciate that person because that person is trying to make you better. I'm going to tell you this last thing, and I'm going to let you guys go. There was a story. I don't usually cuss, but I'm going to do it for this video. There was a story. There was a bird that was flying. And as he was flying, it started to snow. And he was trying to get there. He was flying south for the winter, and he didn't make it. His wings got frozen, and he fell down to the ground. And he was on the ground. He was so sad because he didn't make it, and he was freezing there. Then a cow came by, and the cow pooped on him. And when the cow pooped on him, he was all mad. He was just like, I can't believe this cow came and pooped on me like that. And then it started feeling warm. And it was nice. And then he was thawing out. And then it was like it wasn't so bad. So he got all excited because he was warm, and he started chirping and chirping, and a fox came along. And when the fox came along, the fox was just like, you want me to help you get out of that? And then he was all happy. He was like, this fox came along and helped me. Well, the fox came along and he ate it. The moral of this story, everybody that shit on you is not your enemy. And everybody that act like they helping you is not your friend. So just remember that. Again, the people around you are your mirror. So if you want something better, be something better. And the other thing is let go of belief systems that no longer serve you. Okay? If you like the video, hit the like button. If you think it'll help somebody, please share. Have a good night.